I can't lie, I was very skeptical about this film. Guys, Sicario Day of the Soldado is a sequel to the 2015 hit film directed by Denis Villeneuve, which starred Emily Blunt, Benicio del Toro, and Josh Brolin. Josh Brolin and Benicio del Toro are the only remaining cast members of said film that are returning. And in this follow up film, they are basically trying to start a war between two cartels. And how this is going to start is by them basically kidnapping the one cartel's daughter, and this ensues a adventure that is different than the first film. And I have to give Taylor Sheridan props for that. Taylor Sheridan is a gifted writer. He wrote the original Sicario. He's written Wind River, both films I loved. He wrote Hell or High Water, which I thought was a well written film for what it was. And so now we have this sequel. This sequel that honestly I was not excited for. I thought the fact that Roger Deakins wasn't back on board as cinematographer, that Denis Villeneuve as director wasn't back on, and that Johan Johansson also wasn't back on. I know he died, but he could have still done the score beforehand, but they didn't even bother with him. So my point is, that's three things. That's three strikes and you're out, and that's why I wasn't excited for this film. But I have to say, it was actually good. It's a well-acted film. Benicio del Toro and Josh Brolin give typically great performances. It is a well-shot film. The score is very simplistic, but it actually works. It's not as memorable as the first film, obviously, but it's still good for what it is. The action scenes also, they aren't really action, I'd say. It was just bursts of violence that just happened to be very effective at creating a tension, which I was also surprised by because I thought that this was going to be more of a blockbuster action film where it's like not grounded in reality. But save for one scene, which I'll get to in the end of the review, save for one scene, the film is pretty realistic. And I have to say, I thought that was very refreshing. Since this summer, all we've seen is these popcorn munching films that are force feeds you messages. So it's nice to see a film such as Sicario de Soldado that has messages, and they seem very organic and natural with the way that they are portrayed in the film, which I think is good writing on Taylor Sheridan's part. I think the film also just kind of stretches slowly like a rubber band, and when it finally hits that final act and everything connects, it's kind of like, oh wow, that was actually good. At least to me. Like, I personally thought that this film was never dull. I thought that it helped me keep my eyes glued to the screen because of just how interesting the characters were, and just the double crossing and everything really added some visual flair to me. The visuals in this film, like I said, they are very nice, but I think more importantly, it's nice to know that you have a writer that actually cared about actually having a good sequel. Again, it's not a great film. It's no first Sicario, but it is good, especially the ending. I think the ending was effective at conveying, without spoiling anything, with conveying how some things never change, and how even if they do, sometimes they change for the worse, sometimes they change for the better. My main negative for this film, honestly, is there's a scene towards the end where the director showcases something. He shows something, and you think that that's actually the truth, and then it actually turns out it's not. It's like, oh, well, okay, we've seen this before. It's such a cliche. It's a shame. I don't want to spoil it, but if you watch this film, you'll know what I'm talking about. It's very blatant. But nonetheless, it's a good film for what it's trying to do. I think the messages about Border Patrol and just in general that type of environment, I think it was very interesting. And I have to say, I recommend it. It's no original Sicario, but if you go in with little to no expectations, I think you will enjoy the film. And more importantly, I think you'll have a lot to chew on after the film with whoever it is that you're with, because it is the type of thing where it's topical stuff that's going on in this film. But the difference between this and Jurassic World, my bad, is that this film actually was a bit more subtle, and that goes a long way. So, because of such, I will be giving this a 4.25 out of 5-star rating. I would definitely say it's worth checking out, and Guys, let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below, whether you liked it or disliked it. And don't forget the subscription, notification bell, and I'll catch you guys later.